100, over 100 types of arthritis. I was only thinking about 3 types, but there's actually over 100. Betsy, are you in PST time like me? Are you like, yeah, Pacific Standard Time? Yeah, me too. I had to teach my first class at 8 a.m. And so I was a little bit frazzled, and then my buzzer went on my condo building, and I missed this box, a very important box, and they sent it back to where it came from. And so I was determined not to miss it. And of course I knew that the buzzer would happen in the middle of a class, and I had my husband on alert, but he wasn't alert enough. And my phone's dinging saying, you know, when you live in a condo, someone's buzzing you at the downstairs. I was like, please don't miss this box again. Anyways, so
I wonder if there's anybody here from Alaska. It would be even earlier there.
It would be. I wonder, I don't know if we really marketed in Alaska, but I hope we end up getting people from all over the place. That would be lovely. So there are over 100 types of arthritis, believe it or not, and related conditions that we plunk together with arthritis. What is arthritis? Well, it's the inflammation that happens in our joints, of our joints. So it's an inflammation of our joints that causes usually debilitating pain. I mean, if it's not debilitating pain, it's discomfort. And if it's not discomfort, it's an annoyance. And it really just depends on the variable of the day, how much you've maybe walked, how much you've moved. Maybe you were cleaning cupboards on the bottom in your kitchen. And I can tell you my arthritis is the worst, like when I'm doing that, because I have to bend and kneel on my knees, and that's my bad spot, my knees. And oh my gosh, the next day I feel like I got hit by a truck. Like it's hard. So it can be debilitating joint pain. It certainly can. So arthritis actually affects more than 50 million adults in United States. In the United States. Yeah, oh, you've got a knee replacement. Yeah, oh my gosh, it's my knees. My knees are the problem. But 50 million adults in the United States. And here's the kicker, 300,000 children are affected by arthritis. It's sort of invisible. We don't even notice it. I can't even think of a kid that I went to school with that had arthritis. I'm sure there were some, but I just didn't even notice. So we call arthritis ageless. It's ageless. But the causes and treatments of the options are really very different depending on what type of arthritis you have. Sorry, I have to spit that out. Different types of arthritis have different causes, and therefore we have different treatments for these types of arthritis. So the very first most common, and I don't have the percentage, but the most common type of arthritis is this one, osteoarthritis. Osteoarthritis, we call it OA for short, OA. So OA is, it's a degenerative arthritis. Does everybody know what that word means? Degenerative arthritis. Degenerative is when, it gets worse, right? Degenerates, it degenerates, it worsens. It progresses. So arthritis is considered that. It's a degenerative type of the OA, that is, type of disease. It affects about 27 million. So I said 50 million altogether. Then it affects almost over a half. Leslie, I just wanted to ask you, were you trying to enter with your other device? Try it again. And you know what? He might not have noticed that you were doing that. Austin, I will click you in. Try it again, and I'll just click you in because it comes up on my screen as well. Sometimes, you know, people were trying, you know, we want to be on our phone or we want to be on the computer, and it, you know, we can see if you're trying to enter twice, that's totally fine. We can do that.
I don't know how I did that.
Oh, you don't want to do it?
I don't know how I did that.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Hey, we're all new at this, right? Like, well, not new. We've been doing Zoom for about a year, but we weren't doing Zoom prior to March 2020. Most of us. I certainly wasn't. All right, with osteoarthritis, look at the picture. That's it, right? You get it's with degenerative osteoarthritis. What you have is like you've got like the joint, you've got the cartilage, and the cartilage starts to wear down and wear down and wear down. And before you know it, this is what's happening. The bones are touching. That's when doctors and medical terms call bone on bone. That's what that means. It is excruciating, like to say the least. When you have bones rubbing up against each other, what's happening is your joint will get inflamed and like red and hurting. You might even injure the bone. And you might also even, your body starts to try to protect it. So what does it do? It starts to build up what they call a callus, or a spur. It builds up the spur. So that's what can happen. And it's very painful. It's like if you had that happening on the bottom of your foot, you would feel like you have a rock in your shoe. Has anybody ever felt that? You know, if you got a bit of a spur, it feels like there's something in your shoe. There's nothing in your shoe. It's your arthritis your body trying to heal itself. Austin, could you please help Leslie? Because she's on here twice, and I think that she did that by accident. No worries. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal.
Yeah,
This is just,
I can try to remove it.
yeah, he'll remove you off of one, so you don't feel weird that you got yourself up there twice. So osteoarthritis, OA, that's the short form. What causes it? What are the risk factors? Well, unfortunately, that 3-letter word, age can cause it. Age can cause, or you're at higher risk of getting osteoarthritis. So as we age, we might be more prone to developing osteoarthritis. Those are the words we use. You're more prone and to develop it, because you do develop arthritis. It just sort of becomes a thing. Now we're going to talk about what causes, what are the risk factors? Age, obesity. If you're carrying a lot of weight around, you can be putting so much strain on those joints that you develop arthritis. Injuries. What if you have an injury? That's what happened to my left knee. I got banged in by a power cart on a golf course of all things, and I ended up injuring the side of my knee, and then I developed arthritis after that. Family history. If you've got a family history of osteoarthritis, chances are higher that you're going to get it as well. Yeah, I know. It was my brother actually in the power cart, and he actually had a seizure. He'd gone into a little mini aura seizure from his own medical condition, which we didn't know we had at the time. And he kind of blacked out a little bit while he was riding the cart. And that's how he hit me. It's sort of like, it was like a defining moment, because that has affected me and my health. And also that was a defining moment for him when he realized there was something wrong, because he was going into these like trances, kind of like that aura, the little mini trance when you're having a seizure. He's totally fine right now, but it has affected his memory, his short-term memory. He has to have aids to try to, like, he's like a healthy guy, but there's this little mini seizures in that frontal lobe of your brain. Family history. And then the last one is joint overuse. Have any of you in your lifetime, maybe as a child, you played a sport, you did something that you overused a joint? Has anybody had that? Maybe you played soccer when you were a child. My father played a lot of soccer, a lot of soccer. And so therefore